ॐ तपस्वाध्यायशुश्रूषा कृष्णपूजारतं मुनिं विश्वेशमिष्टदं वन्दे परिव्राट्चक्रवर्तिनम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम to all. Welcome back to Bhagavad Gita session. Today we are going to look at Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 22 and 23 together. In previous verse we saw Arjuna saying Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuta. Please put my chariot in between two warriors, two armies. He wants to see, not casually but intensively he wants to see something. These two verses show how observation becomes agitation and how ego, responsibility, compassion and conscience begin to collide. Let us look at verse 22 first. Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 22. Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin ranasamudyame. Yavat, until, etan, all these people, nirikshe, may see clearly or may see closely, aham, I, yodhukaman, those eager to fight, avasthitan, standing firmly in position, kaihi, with whom, maya, by me, saha, together or against, yodhavyam, have to fight, asmin, in this, ranasamudyame, intense war effort. Simple meaning of this verse 22. I may clearly see all these people standing ready and eager to fight, and I want to understand with whom I must fight and against whom in this great and intense war. Let us look at deeper explanation of each and every word. Yavadetan niriksheham, yavat etan nirikshe aham. I want to see all these people before the war begins. This sentence carries a slight egoistical shade. For a moment, Arjuna forgets Krishna's presence. He begins to assume, this is my responsibility. This is my problem. My decisions to take. He momentarily forgets that without Krishna, even his chariot would not move an inch. There is one famous saying, Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Without God's grace, even a grass cannot move. Forget fighting a world war. But still, this is not arrogance. This is a human ego under pressure. The word aham, I, becomes prominent. This I or aham is the seed from which all future confusion will grow. Arjuna's intention is not casual curiosity. As one of the main leaders of the Pandava army, he wants to stand between the two armies and influence his own side through his calm and firm presence. And he wants to project confidence to his soldiers. And he wants to look both sides eye to eye. This is leader's instinct. He wants to see reactions, firmness, hesitation, and resolve. That is why he said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuta. Yodhukaman avastitan. Those who are eager to fight and standing in position. Yodhukaman avasthitan. There were total of 18 Akshohini Senas were present on the battleground. When he says Yodhukaman avasthitan, Arjuna does not mean he wants to see all 18 Akshohinis spread across the battlefield. He means the warriors standing in front of him, those he will face that very day. Though Arjuna knows both armies well, because he knows most of his own army people and who are their front in Bhishma, Drona and all he knows. But he wants to see them now. In this moment of extreme pressure, not as relatives, not as allies, but as fighters ready to kill or die. He wants to see them. Yavat etan niriksheham. So that is why he says, Senayor bhayor badhe ratham sthapaya mechuta. Kairmaya saha yodhavyam. Kaihi maya saha yodhavyam. Arjuna says, with whom must I fight? And against whom must I fight? This war is not local. This war is not ordinary at all. It's a world war. Kings and warriors have assembled from different regions, clans, and loyalties. Under such pressure, who is still eager? Who is hesitant? Who is fighting out of obligation? Who is driven by greed? All these Arjuna wants to see that clearly. That is why he says, Senayor Bhayor Madhye Ratam Sthapayamechyuta. Then he says, Asmin Rana Samudyame. Asmin Rana Samudyame. Arjuna has fought many wars before and won. But this war is totally different. This is not just another battle. It is a decisive war. There is no guarantee who will survive, who will fall, and what will remain afterward. For both Pandavas and Kauravas, this war will change everything. That is why Arjuna wants to see the reactions, intentions, and mental states of both sides. That is why he says, Senayor Bhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayamechyuta. He wants to see both sides before the war consumes them. His quest for clarity will continue in next verse as well. Let us look at the verse 23. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse 23. Yotsyamanavekshyeham yayetetra samagata dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priyachikirshavah. Yotsyamanaan, those who are ready to fight. Avekshe, I want to observe carefully. Aham, I. Ye, who. Yete, these. Atra, here. Samagataha, assembled. Dhartarashtrasya, of Dhritarashtra's son. Durbuddhehe, misguided. Perverse intellect. Yuddhe, in the war. Priyachikirshavah, wishing to please. Simple meaning of the verse, I want to observe those who have assembled here to fight, who have come to please the misguided son of Dhritarashtra in this war. When we go deeper into word by word expression, we will understand what Arjuna really wants to see. Until now, Arjuna was observing both armies. Now, his focus sharpens. He turns specifically towards the opposing side. His disturbance is not fear of defeat. It is a moral anguish. He says, Yotsyamanana aveksheham. Yotsyamanana avekshe aham. Arjuna wants to look at them closely who came here to fight. He wants to look at them closely, not to threaten, not to boast, but to see them before consequences unfold. He wants to see fear in their eyes, resolve in their faces, awareness or blindness in their minds. Because Arjuna knows one thing clearly. People who support unrighteousness cannot escape consequences. That is why he says, Senayor bhayor madhye ratham sthapayamechuta. Again he says, Yaye tatra samagataha. Yayetetra samagataha. Ye yete atra samagataha. Those who have assembled here. He knows this is not casual gathering. It is not a party. It is not a potluck or something. The word samagataha means deliberately assembled, consciously gathered, having come with awareness. Just there was some group of people gathered, I joined them. It is not like that. These people are not accidental participants. Even they are not forced here overnight. They had time to think. They had time to choose. They had time to withdraw. Yet they are still came. Arjuna wants to look at them carefully and ask internally, did you come here after reflection? Did you come knowing the consequences? Did you come despite knowing this war is unrighteous? This makes their presence heavier. They are not ignorant victims. They are conscious participants in a war driven by greed and ego. That is why Arjuna wants to see them once before arrows are released and consequences become irreversible. This phrase intensifies Arjuna's pain. Not only is adharma being supported, it is being supported willingly. these people are here with intention and willingly they are participating this particular battle. That is why he wanted to see all of them. That is why he said, Senayor bhayor madhye ratham sthapayamechyuta. Then he says, Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe. He did not say Duryodhanasya durbuddhe. Because lots of people came here to fight against Pandavas and to support Duryodhana. So he could have easily said Duryodhanasya durbuddhe. But he says Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe. He deliberately says that. This shows Arjuna's anger is not limited to Duryodhana. He is also deeply upset with Dhritarashtra. Of course, Duryodhana is misguided. That is understandable. But Dhritarashtra was wise, experienced and powerful. He could have stopped this. But he chose not to. A blind man's son became blind in judgment. And the father allowed it to happen. That is negligence. That is partiality. That silence has led to mass human destruction, which is going to happen soon. That is why he was upset with Dhritarashtra as much as Duryodhana. That is why he wanted to see the army people. He said, Senayor bhayor badhye ratham sthapayamechyuta. And again he says, Priyachikirshavah. Yuddhe Priyachikirshavah. Wishing to please in this war. Arjuna's tone here carries a biting sarcasm. If these people truly wished Duryodhana well, they would have advised him not to fight. They would have asked him to return what belongs to the Pandavas. They would have avoided destruction. They would have chosen peace if they really wanted to do good to Duryodhana. Instead, they stand with adharma. They stand with Duryodhana's decision, hoping to defeat dharma. Arjuna clearly knows one thing. Adharma is not going to be victorious for sure. But for that sake, lots of lives will be lost. Animals will perish. Cities will fall. Wealth will be destroyed. And in the end, dharma will still win. Yet countless lives will be wasted. That is why Arjuna says, please place my chariot between the two armies. I want to see them. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechuta. Bhagavad Gita chapter 22nd and 23 together shows us how seeing becomes unbearable. Arjuna is not afraid of fighting. He is afraid of what this fight represents. He sees misguided loyalty, silent elders, pleasing power over truth, and righteousness being challenged by greed. So, this is not weakness. This is conscience awakening. What Arjuna says next, after truly seeing all this, will shake him completely. That is what we will see in the coming verse. God bless you all. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Sham.